Afternoon, guys. So a couple of guys on YouTube and some of my clients have asked me now, could I possibly make a short little video just to basically showcase the differences between the M30T and the new Mavic 4 series, and just why you would buy one rather than the other, and for who would the M4 series work better, and who would still rather be looking at buying the M30T. So hopefully this video will be helping you to make that purchase decision. So yeah, let's fly the drone and get right into it. Okay, so I've got the drone in the air here, and we're here in Westbrook. So I am recording the entire remote instead of a screenshot. So hopefully you guys can see better what I see and see all the functionality of the buttons. So the video I want to make here today is to show some of the features that this drone has got that the M30 don't have, and who would buy one or the other. Okay, so the most obvious out of the lot would be the AI features. So if I click on the AI button here on the side, you will see automatically there is there's like a little vehicle icon that comes right above the vehicle and around the guys as well. Then if I click on the smart track and I click on this oak over here, the camera will now focus on him and track him as he's moving around. So wherever he goes, the camera will follow him. Alright, so that's a very useful feature that the M30 just doesn't have. And you can do the same with with vehicles as well. So if I go out of the smart track and I go a little bit back here, let's see if we can get a vehicle. Okay, let me get a bit of height here, and let me get some height. Let me go over this building. Okay, right. Now we're going to click on smart track and we'll wait for a car that comes this direction. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'll wait for a car. Okay, there's one coming here. So let's click on this this vehicle over here. So there we can see it'll follow this vehicle as it's going. As you can see, I'm not touching the control. Let's see if it picks it up coming out of the other side. Yes, there we go. So yeah, that's just a little bit of functionality of tracking a vehicle. So if you're high up enough, okay, I'm going to go out here. If you're high up enough, it'll follow that vehicle for as far as it can see it. Obviously, if it goes behind the trees for too long, you're going to have a bit of a problem. Okay, so there's one new function that you have. Now DJI has open sourced the machine learning on this AI technology, so a software developer would essentially be able to machine learn this AI tech to detect animals, specific animals, and also counter animals or counter people. I mean, here you can see, let me switch the AI function on. So you can see currently it is spotting 7 humans, and there we can see them all working, and 1 vehicle and 0 ships. So essentially you can machine learn this to pick up specific animals and count them as well. Alright, so that's a very, very useful functionality for the drone. Then with this particular drone, we also have what they call cruise control. So I'm going to switch the AI function off, and I'm going to select cruise control, and I'm going to lean forward with the stick and then hit the C1 button on the back. And as you can see, now it'll just keep cruising like this. Now it'll do it whether you're going forward or backwards. And then just to stop it, you hit the C, or you hit this icon here on the top. And yeah, it'll do this whether you're going backwards, upwards, downwards. You can lock that in place. Okay, so that's a new functionality as well. And then another thing I would like to show, if you go into this menu over here, you can now measure some areas as well. So if we click on this here, okay, next, done. Okay, we want to know how far it is from this point over here. So we'll press C1 all the way to this wall over here. Press C1 again, and there we can see it's 47.7 meters. So you can do measurements like this, and you can go back. I can also measure a 3D area, so I can go like this. And now I want to measure the size of that roof, so I would go C1 over there, and then I go to that point over there, and then I go to, whoopsie, that point over there, and over there. Okay, and then I just click there, and it tells me it is 47.5 square meters, that roof. Now it'll leave it there on the map, so when you fly around you can map other areas as well, which is pretty cool. And then a very, very useful part of this drone, and this is particularly for like search and rescue. So if you go onto this button here and you go observed view, and you click on this, it shows you here on the map where the camera is currently. So if I look the camera up, we can see that area gets bigger, and if I look down, the area gets smaller. And then when you press record here and you fly around, it'll actually keep track of where you have been looking with the drone. So if you've got a search area where you're specifically looking for a suspect or a lost person, if you click record here and I move the drone around, you can see it now makes that whole area where I've been searching yellow. So you're not going to keep going into the same area where you haven't been searching, because you can see on the map what you have already done. So this is very helpful, and as you can see, it makes those little arrows as well as I'm going to show where I've been flying. Alright, so that is awesome in search and rescue. If we go back to the map and go back to camera, if I now, for instance, and this is something you can do on the M30 as well, all of these things that I've showed up to now you couldn't do with the M30. Now what you can do as well, this you can do on the M30 as well. If I see that person there, I can click this little button and it drops the annotation there. And if I go to the map and I click on that there, that little annotation that I dropped, oops, right, okay, I can share that particular point as well. Switch this AI function, there we go. So now I can click over there, share, and I can scan this with my code and share that, and it'll open it on Google Earth and show exactly where I am and where the human is, or the subject is. So that's very helpful, and this is both on the M30T and on this particular one. And then to cancel on the M4, to cancel it, I just click on it and I say delete. I can rename it, I can give it different colors. Yeah, very, very useful. You can also draw specific lines, and this you can do with the M30 and with the M4. You can draw specific search areas on here on this map, and then you can fly it, so you know you're not so you systematically search an area. Let's go out here, back back into the camera. So also on this and on the M30 you have the laser rangefinder. So if I click on that, we can see exactly that vehicle is from this drone 100 meters, 100.5 meters. So that's very useful if you want to see how far you are from an object. In terms of the cameras, so I'm going to show the zoom capabilities of this particular camera. So let's go here, let's switch the laser rangefinder off, and let's go, we're in the zoom camera at the moment. So if we zoom right out, let's go into the wide. So we're sitting over here now. Wide. Now switch to the zoom camera. Now if I want to zoom in on a vehicle on the parking lot there, it zooms up to 112 times. Now this is where the M30T shines a little bit. You've got a 200 times zoom camera on the M30T, but I promise you in real life it's not that big of a difference, to be honest with you. You must remember these cameras, they zoom until a certain length and then they start just cropping in on the image. And to be honest with you, I think with the M30 you're just actually cropping in a little bit more on that same image. So as far as zoom quality is concerned, I would say they're pretty much on par. Basically here you've got a 3x camera, and then it crops in on the 3x camera, and there you can see it switched over to the 7x, and then it zooms in on the 7x all the way, and then it gets to a certain stage and then it just starts cropping in. You can see it starts getting a little bit pixelated as it goes. Where the camera that does shine here a little bit, where the M30 is good, but this is better, is when it comes to this thermal camera. I promise you the quality on this compared to any of the other ones that I've played with, and this is including the M3, the M30T, and even the old H20T camera, this is definitely superior to the rest of them. This thing at night time is fantastic, and some of the features you can do here with the high res, the low gain, you can kind of fine tune this image to give you a thermal image that the others just can't compare with. It really shines with this camera. Yeah, look, all these other functions I'm not going to go into in this video. It is just there's so many, they're so similar in terms of all these other functions that you have. There's really nothing to report on this side. Okay, so while we're in here, we can change, as like with the M30T, we can change different color palettes. I'm gonna leave it on white hot for now. I just want to show, if I go to high res here, how this image looks. It is actually so usable to zoom in on this image a little bit, where with the other ones it just pixelates it so badly you can't see what you're looking at. With this, it's actually usable to crop in onto this image a little bit. It's really fantastic. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go inside, and then I just want to talk a little bit about why you would buy the one rather than the other, and I just want to talk a little bit about the functionality on Flight Hub as well. Alright, so I'm going to bring it back now and we'll see you guys inside. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed that little test flight down there. So none of my videos are really scripted, so I apologize if I stutter a little bit or or not, or my workflow doesn't flow one scene into the next. But look, the goal is here to give you guys just a little bit of knowledge, show you what the drone can do, and explain to you what functionality it has, which the M30T doesn't have. Why you would buy the one rather than the other. So the M30T, I still believe, is a fantastic drone for search and rescue. When it comes to flying in high winds, you just can't compare. The M30T is the stronger drone in the wind. You also have the ability to hot swap the batteries, because you've got 2 batteries in there, so you don't have to power the drone off. Where with the M4, if you want to change batteries, you have to switch it off and switch it on again. However, yesterday I tested that thing. I was up in the air within a couple of seconds. So is it really worth it to buy the M30 over that capability? I don't think so. The main point, where if I look at this whole thing, I would buy the M30 if I absolutely need a waterproof rating. If I'm a security, if I work for a security company or search and rescue scenario where I need this thing to fly in all weather conditions, whether there's wind or rain, at this stage you just don't have a better choice than the M30. Quick deployable, weatherproof, good thermal camera, fantastic zoom camera, hot swappable batteries. However, if waterproof rating is not a primarily concern for you, then I would say go for the M4T. You have got the next level tech when it comes to the AI functionality, and I'm sure with very soon software developers is going to start creating some add-ons to the DJI software. And you also have a drone that's slightly cheaper. You don't have to buy 2 batteries at a time. The batteries are cheaper. The thermal camera is better. So yeah, I hope that gives you guys a little bit of an idea. Like I say, if you do need the waterproofing, the M30 is the one to go for. If that's not a concern, then the next level in tech, especially when it comes to software, the M4, you can't beat it at this stage. I want everybody to bear in mind the new M4 that's going to be in the Dock 3 is going to be waterproof. It's going to have the same gimbal on there. I've actually got one coming from China at the moment. Should have it in another 2-3 weeks. That drone that's going to be in that Dock 3 is going to have the waterproofing capability, and it's going to have that same gimbal with the same tech. And the only difference is that one's arms won't be able to fold up, but DJI is actually bringing out a case where that drone is going to be able to pack in and have it set on your back. So you can actually buy the drone first, have all that tech, and then later buy a dock if you feel the need for it. Another thing that I have to mention here is that you can fly the M4T with DJI Flight Hub. You can actually power it on somewhere, link it with the remote, and as long as you've got an internet connection, you can then fly this drone with DJI Flight Hub. And you have all that AI technology, also have the access to all that AI capability on Flight Hub, which is fantastic. And with the M30, you can view what the camera sees on Flight Hub, but you can't actually take control over it. So that's another thing if that's something you're after. All right, well, I hope all this information helped you to make a decision on what you need to get. And if you got this far in the video, please send a thumbs up and subscribe, because it will definitely help the channel. And I hope to help more guys out there to make the right choice in which drone they want to buy. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.